We could be seeing a perfect storm coming for Jasmy, and so I want to bring that to you guys today just because we've seen a couple of things released within just the past couple of hours that I think could very fundamentally change what we see coming out of Jasmy over the next week, month, couple months, year, who knows. So first off, we got a roadmap update. I want to start going over that with you guys first, just because I mean, let's be honest, this is like a roadmap that's almost 4 months late, or I guess actually is 4 months late as of today, but better late than never, as they say, and they did actually attach timelines. I know we talked about the Pi roadmap that was released on one of my earlier videos. Those did not have dates. These do have at least quarters, so not exact dates, but it is something that we can see there. And then we also do have some updates on price action as well. So if you are looking for the Jasmy chart, you're looking to trade Jasmy, all that type of stuff, stick around. But at the start, I did actually want to start with the post from Hara, and we can see here, thank you very much for your patience. He, of course, acknowledging that they are multiple months late here. And we can see it is with pleasure that we informed the announcement of the roadmap with the best media, which is BSCN News. We do have this article here, and this actually happened about a day or two ago, but we have some really important price updates that are happening over the past hour or two. So we'll go over those here in a second. What we can see is they have this whole FY 2025 timeline. We can essentially get the distilled version here, where we've got Q1, and I think this is the Q1 of their 4-quarter updates. This is not Q1. This is actually like in the middle of, or I guess this is Q2 from the 2025 perspective. But we can see here they do have the developer program release. They've got node incentives. They have UI UX improvements. They have in Q2 we're going to be moving on, which is July to September. They've got the Jasmy app alpha. They've got collaborations, and they also have Junction mainnet. Junction, of course, for those of you who are very well involved within the Jasmy ecosystem, you can see that we have seen very frequently that they've been spending a lot of time working with the Junction team to build that and integrate it into the Jasmy ecosystem. Then if we do move on to Q3, we can see here from October to December, they've got the My Resume launch. This is a new thing that we've not really seen or heard too much about, but you can see that this is the alpha version of the recruitment app targeting staffing agencies exclusively. And they also do have the node purchases. And then from there, we do have Q4, where they have the payment authorization, ecosystem expansion, and the strategic alliances. So they are starting to do a little bit more with kind of bringing people into what they've seen kind of out of the growing their ecosystem and trying to bring in more partnerships, a lot of that type of stuff. So a lot of interesting and cool things happening there from the Jasmy perspective. If you are interested in kind of learning a little bit more of how am I finding these things, what do I find important, what do I find not important, a lot of that type of stuff, I do have that waitlist opened up. It is in the description below if you are looking for more of a one-to-one type of mentorship where you can learn more from me directly, a lot of that type of thing. I have opened up a couple of spots just trying to gauge some interest. If you are interested, fantastic. If you're not, of course, not a big deal at all. I will continue to make my own YouTube videos and all that type of stuff as well. So not a big deal, but just want to open that up to see if there are people who are in fact interested, and then we can obviously roll from there. So moving on though, I did want to talk a little bit about what we've seen out of the Jasmy chart here recently, because we've seen a couple of pretty important things. This, in my mind, potentially an absolutely fantastic place to be potentially starting to open up a trade. Now, of course, not financial advice. You do need to make your own decisions, but this is something that does in fact kind of hit a lot of different metrics that I typically trade off of. For those of you who have followed me on the channel over an extended period of time, there's a couple of different things that we generally trade at or trade on the channel here. One of the first things is support and resistance. That is the most basic. And then of course we have the Bollinger Bands and RSIs. Those are probably kind of the more standard things that we use. But what we can see here is we had this multiple months long descending channel, or this descending trend line, I guess I should say, that we eventually broke over here down at the beginning of April. Since then, we kind of ran into this support level that we had seen actually hold up as a pretty solid level of support multiple different times. We tried to break above here kind of in the mid-April timeframe, got rejected, and then now what we're seeing, this is very important. So let's zoom on in here a little bit. Let me kind of just rearrange this a little bit. We can see this is the important piece that we've started to see. So we came up here, got rejected, came back, broke above, and now we're coming down, and it looks like, we've been holding up the support for the past couple of days. Currently, we have in fact wicked below the support, and then we might be coming back up. Essentially, the ideal thing that we would be looking to see here, and we saw this actually wick for a second, is we have this kind of on a much smaller time frame. We do have this descending trend line that has come down. We are effectively looking to bounce off of this and continue up. This would be a break and a retest, and this generally has a pretty high likelihood of actually happening. Now, of course, we have broken down through it right now. We have seen some less than positive news coming out from the US regarding economic and macroeconomic things. As I've mentioned several times before here on the channel, we are in a macro market right now. Whatever happens in the macro market is what is going to move crypto. Doesn't really matter what your chart looks like for whatever coin you happen to be trading. I think that is essentially a lot of what we're seeing here. Now, this is actually very important to note, because if we do see this wick up, potentially like we could be seeing, and then we go back above, this is going to be a classic break and retest that we could see make a really fantastic run here. So this is a potential trade that I might be looking to get into. I think what I'm going to be looking to see first is we're going to start to see this wick. I think if we see this wick up and we see it come back toward this support, that is a point at which I might be looking to make an entry here. Some of you might say, well, why wouldn't you just enter here and then you're going to be making a little bit better of a spread here? Yes, maybe, but we might have potentially broken this support, which is why it's really important not to get ahead of yourself and jump into things that might not return the best for you over time. So what I will be looking to see is if we can actually hold this support, or if we can appear to hold this support. If we do that, then I'll be looking to make a long entry, a leveraged long entry probably here, and then we can start to head back up. We can see from the Bollinger Bands, we're not really pushing the top of the Bollinger Bands here. We're not really pushing the top of the RSI. This chart is kind of set in a place that it should, again, if we decide to take that move back to the upside, it should actually perform quite well. And we do have the Jasmy roadmap that provides a little bit of that news, that catalyst. I know there's a lot of people in crypto who are looking for the narratives and the catalysts and all that type of stuff. We do have some of that with this Jasmy roadmap and a lot of that type of thing coming out. So this could potentially be a really, really strong catalyst that helps us get pushed further along into the market. So as I mentioned, not particularly maybe the exact best time to be opening a trade right now, but I did want to show you guys how to open a trade on BTCC because it is a really great place to trade. We'll start here. We'll do a 10x long here. We'll do something. We'll just go like pretty small just because maybe it's not the best time to be opening something like this. We'll do this. We could see here this would be a $1,600 contract value. We can see with margin, since it is 10x, it's only $162. So we will open that long here. We'll go ahead, place the order, and boom, we are open and we are now trading Jasmy. Of course, as I said, this is not the ideal time to be opening because we are not sure if we will be holding up this level of support. But it does appear that, we could be holding this level of support. And then if we do go ahead and break this trend line, that is going to be an absolutely fantastic move for us to be taking here. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. I did want to show you one other thing. As we see on X, there are people talking similarly about this. So we can see there's people drawing it different ways, doing this type of thing, but we're kind of pinched between two kind of micro support and resistance levels. If we do see this break, we could see that run back up to that 3.5 cent range, which of course would be about 115 to 120% from where we are right now. So this would be a really, really monumental move that would be fantastic overall for Jasmy and the Jasmy community, a lot of that type of stuff. I know over the past probably, 3 weeks, month, 2 months, we have not really seen anything super special coming out from the Jasmy coin. And I do think, as I've mentioned several times in this video, this could be potentially a fantastic time to be kind of blending in, both the technical opportunity as well as some of the news and the narratives, the events, all that type of stuff. So that is something I do think is a really, really good option that we could be looking toward here. So if you are interested, just feel free to sign up. I do have the links to BTCC in the description below. Really, really great value awesome trading bonuses, awesome deposit bonuses, all that type of stuff. They are going to give you 10% for free just for signing up if that is something that you are interested in. So feel free to go on ahead and do that. Links are all in the description below. So also, if you have enjoyed this video, you found it interesting, a lot of that type of stuff, please feel free, drop likes, comment, subscribes, hit the notification bell, all that type of fun stuff. I am actually here in Token 2049 this week, so I'm learning about all of the different various things going on within the market. There's been some chatter about meme coins. There's been some chatter about stable coins. I actually did release kind of like a special alpha alert in my Patreon or in my Discord channel. If you are interested, I also have the link to that in the description below as well. But that's just something where I'll kind of release my thoughts and updates and stuff as I have them. So anyway, like, subscribe, comment, all that type of stuff. If you have questions, feel free to drop those. I do try to read and respond to all of those, so we can go on ahead and I'll answer any of those that you may have. So thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.